Hey guys, just down here in the river bottoms, shooting some videos today, and came across some pretty cool animal tracks, and thought I would just give you a couple of real quick, just some information on some common types of animal tracks that you might find, when you're out and about. You could use this in a long-term survival situation to kind of know what, sort of game is around you and all that kind of thing. But you could also just use it for, when you're hunting and stuff like that, just to know. Now, these are pretty common, a couple of different things, but I've also got a tip at the end on just a little bit of information on tracking people, and kind of a cool little way to help you if you're tracking people, like in a search and rescue situation or something like that. So stick with us, and I'll show you what we got. Okay guys, so these heavy prints that you've got right here are turkey tracks. And this is in the mud, so you can kind of see them really clearly. So that works out really good for the purposes of the video. And obviously turkey is good to eat and all that kind of stuff. Now I think it would be a lot harder to end up tracking them through the woods and all that kind of stuff, but it's just an indicator of the presence of the animal. Then we've got some other good tracks in here. Let me see if I can find those. Okay, here's some. They're little raccoon tracks. And little raccoon tracks pretty much look just like a little handprint, but you'll see, you will also see some little claws in the front of them sometimes, because they do have little claws in there. There is a deer print. I think we've got some other ones up there. It's not entirely clear, I apologize, but it's basically right there. Let me see if I can find a better one. These are little fawn prints. They're pretty small. There's another little bigger deer print as well. Now, those of you guys who are experienced outdoorsmen, you guys know this stuff. I'm not teaching you anything. Kind of cool though to bring your kiddos out here and show them this kind of thing and teach them the different types of track and how to track them and where the animals usually run and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have my boys with me today. Let me show you the human tracking tip as well. This is kind of neat, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Okay guys, so here is the information for tracking people. What you want to do is you want to find a stick that is fairly straight. Now obviously this is not extremely straight, so it doesn't really matter if it's extremely straight or not, but you want it to be about 3.5 to 4 feet long, something along those lines. And when you find a couple of good prints, so we've got that footprint up there, and then we have the last step behind it, which is that one right there. What you can do is you take the tip and you put the tip of that stick at the back edge of that boot, and then you take a piece of 550 cord and you tie it right there at the tip of the other step. Okay, so then what you have is the distance between the tip of your stick and your first piece of 550 cord represents the distance of the stride for the person that you're tracking. Okay, and then you've got a second piece of 550 cord tied back here, and that will give you the distance for the length of the approximate boot print for the individual that you're tracking. So then as you're going along, and let's say that you find you know, a couple of sets of prints or whatever, and then it goes off, you know, into an area, let's say like right here. Let's say I can see that there is, you know, some matted down mud, and it looks like, you know, somebody has stepped right here, and this kind of looks like the end of the heel cup. But you know, because of the grass and everything like that, I can't really tell for sure, you know, where the next one is, where the next print is. So what I'll do is I'll line this back one up with the back of that heel cup, and then I'm going to be looking out around here at the end of my tip for the next step. So then, you know, that carries on several times, and you find some sign and you move forward and you move forward, and so on and so forth. And, you know, then ultimately, hopefully you'll find whoever it is you're looking for and all that kind of stuff. Now you can adjust those pieces of 550 cord, especially the front one, you know, either to a shorter stride or to a longer stride, depending on the terrain that they're in, if they're injured, all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of a gauge, because when you spend a lot of time on your hands and knees looking for prints, you know, it can be difficult. Your eyes can, you know, have a hard time adjusting and those kinds of things. And a little stick like this will work pretty well for kind of giving you an idea of where to look for that next step. So just makes it a little bit easier. This could also be used for tracking wounded animals, you know, for tracking deer, like we looked at the prints earlier, or a wounded turkey or something along those lines too. It could be used for a lot of different reasons, you know. So anyhow, guys, just a real quick tip. I don't know a lot about tracking. I'm not a tracking expert or anything like that, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn one time, so you know, take that for what it's worth. I think it's pretty good qualifications. I did also take a tracking class one time. It was like an 8-hour-long thing, and that was what the biggest thing that I took away from the class, you know, was make a tracking stick like that, where you actually put those little, you could use rubber bands or whatever the case may be. Obviously a straighter stick works better too. But anyhow, just a little tidbit of information for you on tracking. Hopefully you found it useful. And as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys. What other tracking tips do you guys have? Throw some of those in the comments below. Thanks.